Hey y'all, it's Nim or Nimacree if you're feeling professional, and welcome to the YouTube video. Now today we're going to be going over the Dragonflight Alpha talent tree for Protection Paladin. But before we do that, if you like what I do in specific, or if you like what the channel does in particular, go on and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything the channel does. Additionally, I've been told I should push this more. I stream on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's something up there right now. And without further ado, let's get protection-y. The Protection Paladin. One of my favorite specs, and in fact my main spec from the end of Wrath of the Lich King all the way up to the middle of Warlords of Draenor. And I became a Protection Paladin the way most people become tanks. I got tired of not being able to find a tank. And when I found a tank, like, oh, you won't LOS pull, or you won't mitigate properly, or you won't wait for people to give you mana, or you'll run ahead, pull everything, and be like, oh, why are the heals so bad? It's like, mate, I have a cast time too. I have a GCD too. So finally, I got tired of it. I was like, give me this shield, give me the sword. All right, let's go get battered about the face. And then that happened, but I was well on my way to becoming a tank because I was frustrated and I thought I could do it better. And in some cases, I was right. Now, let's start with a protection tree. Avenger's Shield, possibly my favorite spell in the entire game of World of Warcraft. It is like a flying Swiss Army knife that bludgeons your enemies and does a variety of things depending on the era of the game. So here we have Avenger's Shield. Hurls your shield at an enemy target, dealing 52.416% of attack power as holy damage, and then jumping to two additional nearby enemies. So we're going to click that, but out. And then we have, and funny side note, I was once in a dungeon with a Protection Paladin. I was playing as a Ret as my off-spec, and they were using a two-handed weapon. I asked why not use a shield because of Avenger's Shield, and their answer was, Avenger's Shield sucks. I still have not really been able to parse that out in my brain, and it harms me when I think about it. And now, you get to ponder it for those who enjoy to be paladins. Excuse me. Now, so here we can choose one, Inner Light. So when Shield of the Righteous expires, gain 307 block and deal 123 holy damage to all attackers for 4 seconds. Or Redoubt. Shield of the Righteous increases your strength and stamina by 2% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Now, I want to mention that this is the alpha, so I'm not so much worried about the numbers. Numbers will be tuned and changed, or not tuned and not changed, but numbers are not important. Right now, we're looking at mechanical interaction. How do these mechanics work with the class? So if I were to choose one, let's go with, honestly, I kind of like Inner Light. And then we have Hammer of the Righteous or Blessed Hammer. Now, so let's see. Hammer of the Righteous. Hammer of the Righteous hits the current target for 27% of 27% attack power physical damage. Also, in Consecration, causes a wave of light that hits all other targets in 8 yards for, 8%, almost 9% of holy damage. When you're standing in Consecration, so it has it listed twice, generates 1 holy power. Or you can get Blessed Hammer. Blessed Hammer spirals outward, dealing 10% of attack power as holy damage, and reducing the next damage they deal to you by attack power times 30% of their attack power. Okay. Hammer of the Righteous in Consecration is kind of an old school thing. It was a great way to create a cheap, fast, spammable AoE. Now, it's not necessarily spammable in this case because it has 1 charge in 6 seconds, but still, it's a nice way to drop con, they get hit by con, boom, Hammer Righteous, you've hit them twice. Odds are, if you're a decent tank and decently geared and there's not this huge disparity, and your DPS aren't like, well, surprise, I popped all my cooldowns, you're going to hold on to those mobs until you can do a little bit more. So I think I'm going to go with Hammer of the Righteous. Now, over here we have Holy Shield. Your block chance is increased by 15%. You're able to block spells, and your successful blocks deal, roughly 10% of attack power as holy damage back to the attacker. Grand Crusader. When you avoid a melee attack or use Hammer of the Righteous, you have a 15% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Avenger's Shield. So 15% chance, 1 second cooldown. So it's not going to happen more than 1 second. And I think that's important they list that in the tooltip, because otherwise you'd be like, well, is there an internal cooldown? And then you have to parse the forums and figure things out. And honestly, nobody should ever go to the forums. And then, of course, Shining Light. Every 3 Shields of the Righteous make your next Word of Glory free. Now, that's pretty good, too. But we're going to go with Grand Crusader first. And then Shining Light. And Holy Shield. So I need 20 points to get down into here. Yes, I need 20 points. Or 8. I'm sorry, I need 8 points. I'm thinking 20. So now what do we have? We have, Consecration Flame. Consecration lasts 1 second longer. Its damage is increased by 15%, which isn't too bad. 15% increased damage. Crusader's Judgment. Judgment now has 2 charges, and Grand Crusader now grants a charge of Judgment. Ooh, okay, that was a talent at one point. Ardent Defender. Reduces all damage you take by 20% for 8 seconds. While it's active, if you die, no, you actually don't. And then if you die again, well, look, we already gave you a freebie. What's up? Inspiring Vanguard. Grand Crusader's chance is increased to 20% and grants you 94 strength for 8 seconds. I believe that was an Azerite trait at one point for Azerite armor. And then, of course, Consecrated Ground. Consecration is 15% larger, and enemies within it have a 50% reduced movement speed. Now, you may be like, Nim, they're really leaning into Consecration. For a Ret, that didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but for Prot, it does, because, as you know, Prot's mastery, at least as I'm aware of it currently in life, is you stand in Consecration, your Shield of the Righteous does more mitigation. That's what you want. So you want to be on the holy ground and have your mitigation. So making it larger means you can fit more enemies in it. Also, if you took Hammer of the Righteous, like I did, well, now you have a little bit more, let's say, option on the wave of holy damage. But I think we're going to go with Consecration Flame, Consecrated Ground, and we'll come back and fill out things if necessary. So here we have Bastion of Light. Your next 3 Shields of Righteous or Word of Glory cost no holy power, so it's a 2-minute CD. Pretty powerful 2-minute CD. Bulwark of Order. Avenger's Shield also shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing 50% as much damage dealt. Now, that's got 2 ranks. That was a set bonus, I believe, for Prot Paladins at the end of Warlords of Draenor. Light of the Titans. Word of Glory heals for an additional 500% of attack power over 15 seconds. Whoa. So you just gave me, essentially, Eternal Flame. Now, that's actually not bad for a Prot spec. Uther's Guard. Your Lay on Hands, Divine Shield, and Blessing of Spell Warding and Blessing of Protection, because you can talent into Blessing of Spell Warding, have a 20% reduced cooldown. And if that stacks with other reduced cooldowns, oh boy, we're gonna be all right. Because you figure what? Lay on Hands, 10-minute cooldown? Well, that's 2 minutes off. Right there. So, this Prot seems like it's gonna be in a good place. Let's start with Bulwark of Order. Then I think I want to go to Light of the Titans. Ooh, here we go. Let's take a look over here. Hand of the Protector. Word of the Glory's healing is increased by the target's missing health on any target. Ooh, if that works how it says there, you've got a pretty powerful heal. Resolute Defender. So it's not yet implemented. That's what NYI says. Each 3 holy power you spend reduces the cooldown of Ardent Defender and Divine Shield by 1 second. So every spender, hey, that's not bad. Choose one. Avenging Wrath Might. So again, you get Avenging Wrath. If you know Avenging Wrath, you also get a 20% damage increase, which means, if you have Avenging Wrath from the talent tree over here. Or Sentinel. Gain 15 stacks of Divine Resolve, increasing your maximum health by 2% and reducing your damage taken by 2% per stack until cancelled. After 5 seconds, you will begin to lose 1 stack per second, but each 3 holy power spent will delay the loss of your next stack by 1 second, combines with Avenging Wrath. So that's a really interesting talent it's almost like a DPS style talent, but for tanks. So the fact that, you build up your 5 holy power, pop Sentinel. Okay. Boom. You Shield of the Righteous. Hit something else. Boom. And, then you hit again. So that's, you've extended at that point by, 2 seconds? Pop your Bastion of Light. Boom. Heal. Boom. Right there. So now you've got another few seconds. And you can just kind of and that's if you want to spend it kind of recklessly. Let's say you want to maybe wait a second for the hit and keep everything on maximum uptime. That could be a lot of fun. Especially with Divine Purpose. Oh, throw in Divine Purpose with that, and you can get some real... Yeah, Grant's real kind of RNG heavy. But when it lines up, you get those nice moments of glory. Ooh, could be a lot of fun. Strength of Conviction. While in Consecration, your Shield of the Righteous and Word of Glory have 10% increased damage and healing. So, okay, so they took the current mitigation, active mitigation, and put it in the talent tree. Oh, that's not bad. And then, of course, Reckless Inquisitor. So we're going to start off with Strength of Conviction, then Reckless Inquisitor. Then I kind of want to go to... What do we have down here? Oh, Sanctuary. Here we go. While in Consecration, your damage taken is reduced by an additional 2.5%. So it's got 2 charges, or two levels. So you figure 5%. Faith Barricade. When you use your Avenger Shield, your block chance is increased by 10% for 5 seconds. So probably 20% for 5 seconds. Tears Enforcer. Your Avenger Shield is imbued with Holy Fire, causing you to deal 7% of attack power. Damage to all enemies within 5 yards of each target hit. Ooh, good AoE stuff. And then we, of course, have, I think, Seal of Justice. Farron Marcus's Strength. Avenger Shield deals 15% increased damage to its primary target. Whoa. Okay. So how many points do I have here? I need 5 more in this zone. So I think I'm gonna... we have Guardian of Ancient Kings. Yeah. Sanctuary, and I want to use that. All right. Shield of the Righteous grants an additional... Ooh, hold on. Let's take a look. Yeah, additional 2% armor. Not bad. Faith and Light. Casting Word of Glory grants you additional 0% block chance for 5 seconds. That's obviously not mathematically tuned. Ooh, Divine Toll and Divine Resonance. So we're going to go Faith and Light, Divine Toll, and Divine... Yeah, ooh, Sarah and Divine Toll. So here we have Improved... So, okay, let's move over here. So, if you get Divine Resonance, after casting Divine Toll, you instantly cast everything, for me, Avenger Shield every 5 seconds. This effect lasts 15 seconds. That is essentially the Kyrian Legendary. Or I can get Improved Seraphim and Divine Toll, which the cooldown of Seraphim is reduced by 5 seconds, and Divine Toll by 15 seconds. Divine Toll right now is currently a 1-minute cooldown, so I can turn that into... I think I'd honestly go with, if I'm going to go with anything, I'm going to go with Divine Resonance. Boom. How many points I got left here? So I got 5 more. Ooh. Eye of Tyr. Release a blinding flash of light from Truth Guard. Well, luckily we don't really have Truth Guard anymore, but I take your point. Causing 56.7% attack power, holy damage to all nearby enemies, and reducing all damage they deal to you by 25 for 9 seconds. That's a pretty big damage mitigation. On a 1-minute cooldown? Here we have Final Stand. No, I'm not worried about that. Gift of the Golden Valkyr. Each enemy hit with Avenger Shield reduces the remaining cooldown on Guardian of the Ancient Kings by 500 seconds. That's got to be wrong, because Guardian of the Ancient Kings is a 5-minute cooldown. 5 times 6 is 300 seconds. So that's got to be 5 seconds. I'd say 5 seconds there. Or maybe 10 seconds. But I'm going to go with... Let's see what's over here. So we have Focused Enmity. Avenger Shield deals 200 increased damage but strikes only 1 target. Or Soaring Shield. Avenger Shield jumps to 2 additional targets. So you have a nice little AoE build, or you could do a single target, which, with all the damage increases and utility that Avenger Shield has, having 200% increased damage when only striking 1 target would be perfect for, hey, this is just a boss you have to kill. Or there's 1 add up, but we need a tank to focus the boss. Well, okay. Avenger Shield. Whoosh. And then Soaring Shield gives 2 additional targets, so it turns into 5. Crusader's Resolve. Enemies hit by Avenger Shield deal 5% reduced damage to you for 10 seconds, maximum 3 stacks. Now, that's really good. And Moment of Glory, or Bulwark of Righteous Fury. Ooh, these are really good names. Moment of Glory. For the next 15 seconds, Avenger Shield damage is increased by 20%. It generates an Absorb Shield for an additional 50% of damage dealt, and its cooldown is reduced by 50%. 1.5 minute cooldown, lasts 15 seconds. It's not bad. Bulwark of Righteous Fury, though. Avenger Shield increases the damage of your next Shield of the Righteous by 30%. For each target hit by Avenger Shield, stacking up to 5 times, and increases its radius by 6 yards. Woo! Okay, so I hit 3 targets by default. Or I can hit 3 targets by default. So I can get a 90% damage increase on my Shield of the Righteous. Just for that. Some of these are pretty nasty. We take a look at Righteous Protector. Of course, each holy power spent reducing the remaining cooldown of Avenging Wrath and Guardian Age Kings by half a second. So each time you do a spender, it's 1.5 seconds off. I'm going to go Righteous Protector, Eye of Tyr, and I think we'll go with Gift the Golden Valkyr. And there we go. Now, I don't know if this is the build that I would go with per se, but this is what I was just, first thought thinking about things. Obviously, if I were going with something, with a single target, or if I wanted maybe something else. But Divine Toll is really good. Divine Resonance is really, really good. Because then it throws Avengers shields out and I can do. But let's say again, I'm going a single target route. I mean, it's one of those things. It's hard to give up Divine Toll. It's such a powerful skill. Maybe I would get rid of Consecration and Flame and do, I don't know, Crusader's Judgment. But here I ended up not getting Ardent Defender, which is really weird. I wanted Strength of Conviction because I think that's a really wonderful skill. Anyways, guys, this was the Protection Paladin tree. I liked it. I thought it was a good thing, as opposed to, our class tree, whatever. But I think the Prot has a lot of these are really good talents that could be used for a lot of different things. So tell me in the comments below if you like the video. If not, that's okay too. If you like what I do in particular, or you like the video, the channel in specific, go on and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything the channel does. Additionally, I stream on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There'll be something on screen now. Also, for those who want to support the channel in a greater way, there is my Patreon, and that's patreon.com/Nimicry. On screen right now, you should see a list of patrons. Thank you to all of you for being patrons. You help a small creator like myself out. We are closing in on 3,500 subscribers, so yay, it feels good. But with all that being said, may the amount you're farming drop on the first kill.